If you're serious about scaling as an investor, you need the right research partner. In this video, we're breaking down Tipranks, Seeking Alpha, Motley Fool, and Morningstar. Which one delivers the most reliable insights and the easiest research tools? Which platform's features actually support smarter, data-driven decisions? Let's find out. Whenever I test investing platforms, I never just dive in blind. I spend hours, sometimes days, digging through user reviews, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because, let's face it, the polished testimonials on the homepage don't show what happens once you've subscribed. When I looked into TipRanks, one reviewer was very frustrated after a refund issue. He claimed he signed up for the premium plan, saw the 30-day money-back guarantee, but later found out that only applied to website purchases, not through the app. And honestly, that would kind of frustrate me or anyone, I think. But here's the thing. Billing disputes are typically resolved through the provider or even the card issuer, and these cases did appear pretty uncommon anyway. What stood out more was that most people never even faced this kind of problem. One investor said he's used TipRanks for over 10 years and called it more accurate and functional than Motley Fool and Seeking Alpha combined. Another shared how his very first pick on TipRanks delivered over 100% return in just 2 months. Nice. I mean, that kind of thing tells me that the occasional billing hiccup for some individuals doesn't outweigh the consistent results that people report. With Seeking Alpha, one user said that he felt tricked. He claimed he signed up for an introductory $4.95 offer, but was later billed over $500, leading him to cancel and even file a complaint. So that sounds bad, but here's where context matters. Introductory trials across the industry often auto-renew into full subscriptions unless they're canceled. The key takeaway here is that this is an outlier, and always remember to check your subscriptions. And when you look past this kind of thing, the majority of Seeking Alpha reviews are pretty compelling. One retiree said that he finds the analysis fascinating, especially the work from Stanford chemist and the AlphaPix service. Another investor called Seeking Alpha the best investment he's made, saying that he gained significantly within the trial period alone. Now, with Motley Fool, one user warned that their stock recommendations often went south. He claimed that he bought shares on their advice, and most ended up losing value years later. That's tough to hear, but it is a common concern among just any stock picking services. Past performance is no guarantee of future performance. That said, Motley Fool has a dedicated fan base. One user talked about becoming smarter, happier, and richer by following their long-term educational approach. For beginners seeking community and structured learning, the Motley Fool remains a strong option. And then there's Morningstar. The big complaint I found was about their watch list. A user who had relied on it for 2 decades was suddenly told he needed a $249 a year premium subscription to keep using this basic feature. He called the platform obsolete. So that's tough for longtime users, and it feels like a core feature was put behind a paywall, right? But to be fair, also, Morningstar's strength has never been its free tools. One value-focused investor explained that he happily pays the premium because the detailed analysis and evaluation models just save enormous amount of time and prevent poor investment choices for him. For fundamentals-driven investors, that depth can be worth every penny. So where do these platforms truly earn their keep, right? This is where I think the differences become crystal clear. With TipRanks, I was really impressed by the personalization. I could tweak my dashboard, set alerts on specific analysts or insiders or even like bloggers. That meant I wasn't drowning in just random updates. I was getting focused signals tied to my strategy. Another feature that stood out was the news score. So instead of scrolling endlessly through headlines, TipRanks just calculates a sentiment around a stock and presents it in a simple score. I could immediately see whether the buzz was positive or negative. And for income investors, the dividend calendar is a major advantage. It shows when payouts are coming and helps identify new dividend plays before they pop up on brokerage screens. Add that to the crowd wisdom tab and the risk charts that highlight both company specific and sector risks, and TipRanks delivers a complete view on not just stock picks. Seeking Alpha takes a slightly different angle. The virtual analyst reports are incredibly useful for due diligence, multi-page breakdowns of financials, risks, and valuations, and the ratings system grades your portfolio in real time, showing which holdings align with strong buy ratings and which might be lagging. The crown jewel here is AlphaPix, so since its inception in July of 2022, the AlphaPix portfolio has delivered a total return of 136.29%, compared to the S&P 500's 49.41% over the same period. So that level of performance is really difficult to overlook. Motley Fool's stock advisor service focuses more on long-term buy and hold recommendations. Their teams look for founder-led companies with strong fundamentals and culture. It's less data-driven than Tipranks, but for investors who want education plus stock ideas, it remains a proven model. Morningstar's star ratings and screener are powerful tools for fundamentals driven investors. You can filter stocks, ETFs, and funds across hundreds of data points. But compared to Tipranks' sentiment analysis or maybe Seeking Alpha's actionable reports, I think Morningstar feels more like a traditional research library. Valuable, but less dynamic for active traders. Tipranks has a learning curve. I mean, the dashboard is just packed with data, and it can definitely feel overwhelming at first. But that depth is also what makes it powerful once you adapt. Seeking Alpha's weakness is its own abundance. Like the volume of content and contributors can feel like information overload for newer investors, though experienced users learn to filter effectively. Motley Fool's recommendations aren't always right, and they can be early. Their strength lies less in timing and more in teaching long-term investing discipline. Morningstar's main drawback is probably its cost. Like for casual investors, the premium subscription may feel like a stretch, but for detailed-oriented investors, it delivers professional-grade analysis. So what about cost, right? Tipranks, Seeking Alpha, Motley Fool, and Morningstar all take different approaches here. Each is priced, I think, appropriately for the depths of the tools and insights that they provide. So if you want to check out the specific prices, check the links in the description for the updated pricing plans, promos, and discounts. We keep those updated so that you don't overpay. So who gives the best investing tools? Well, Tipranks and Seeking Alpha provide the most actionable, trustworthy features, I think. Motley Fool appeals to beginners who maybe want education and long-term guidance and suggestions, while Morningstar suits fundamentals-driven investors who value deep analysis. So check the link in the description to get started with any of these platforms and explore the exclusive promotions available now.